When you were alive, did you live? Surviving is different from living. When you die, people could say anything about you.
You nearly ruined my life.
Me?
Yes.
How?
You nearly ruined my life.
To the point of nearly.
You nearly ruined my life. Oh God.
Oh, wow.
That was the worst 1 week of my life.
But how can you say that?
It was the 1 week of my life, and it was all because of Labista.
Almost everywhere that I have traveled to, I always have somebody telling me how my movie affected them, positively or negatively.
It seemed like the movies we see today are AI-generated content.
That's what it looks like, because the Nollywood of our time is different from the Nollywood of this time. Everything we did out of passion. We were practically making money for the marketers.
Now, let us talk about politics. This is where we're going to fight.
We as Nigerians, we like to complain, we like to apportion blames, but we don't like to be part of the group.
When Nigerians look at politicians, okay, you want us to be patient, but you're buying exotic cars for yourself. 200 million naira cars for each of you, House of Rep members, senators. You're budgeting billions for wardrobe allowance. You're flying in and out of the country, doing nothing, squandering the money of a public fund. You're not cutting down cost of governance. But you're asking Nigerians to be patient and endure with you because there is no money in the country.
The approach that we as Nigerians give to situations also matters.
So you're putting the blame on Nigerians.
I'm just trying to make you understand that most of the issues that we have, most of the issues that we face in this country did not start with this administration. What I don't understand is, why are you putting everything on the head of the presidency?
There's a law currently that allocation for local governments should go to the local government, and governors hijacked it. And the president is sitting comfortably here, the chief officer of the country, whose desk lies the responsibility to enforce the law. You're sitting, sleeping, and not doing anything about it. Local government chairmen are crying, and nobody is helping them.
But this is his idea.
It was not his idea, it was the idea of Buhari. Currently, there's something they call energy security expense. Cumulatively is over 17 point something trillion naira. Buhari in his 80 years spent just about 11 trillion on fuel subsidy. This government removed fuel subsidy and now came up with what they call energy security expense, that they have spent over 17 trillion naira on, and fuel is over 1,000 naira. Nobody knows who that money is being paid to. Are you aware that it is in this administration that we have a phantom agency with a budget allocation passed by the National Assembly and signed by the presidency? An agency that nobody therefore denied knowledge of. Are you aware that currently 3 budgets are running concurrently in this country? 2024 budget, 2025 budget, and 2026. These are budgets that the money has already been given out and nobody is implementing it. They could not implement the 2024, they could not implement the 2025, and now 3 budgets. What happened to all that money? How would you expect an ordinary Nigerian to give the president another 4 years? It's all right, Labista, let's move on from politics. Aside from politics, what other opinion do you hold that Nigerians would strongly disagree with? Ladies and gentlemen, my name again is KaaTruths, the host of KaaTruths podcast. And today, looking at my face, you see that I'm very excited because of the legend we have in the studio today. This is a man I grew up. When we start this podcast, I'm going to tell him what he did to me. This is a man most of us grew up loving. We admired him, and he's one of the people who made Nollywood what it is today. And I'm happy to have him. We're going to be asking him very beautiful and, of course, some very tricky, difficult questions. We want to get the best out of him. His name, of course, I'm not going to mention his full name. We know him as Labista. Most of us, I'm sure if I ask almost everybody in this studio, they don't know your real name. We are comfortable calling you Labista.
Yes.
And you nearly ruined my life.
Me?
Yes.
How?
You nearly ruined my life.
To the point of nearly.
You nearly ruined my life.
Ah.
I swear it.
Bobby.
I swear
I
it.
tell me what I do.
Your movie, Labista. You're laughing. I don't want to laugh. This is serious. I needed to say this thing with a very serious face.
Oh my goodness. I didn't see that coming.
You turned me to a gangster.
No, I didn't turn you to a gangster. Just say I almost. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't me. It was you believing my movies.
Wait before you defend. Before you defend. See, I remember when I was in school. All right. Very small, that movie was produced in 2004.
It actually produced in 2003 and it came out in 2004. Yes.
In school, I assembled my own gang and my name was Labista.
Really? You also bear that name?
Because of you.
Yeah, I understand.
The strongest. I was the strongest.
Oh,
the smartest.
Interesting.
The fearless, just like Labista. And we go about shooting ourselves with toy guns in school. And as a fan of Jet Li and Jackie Chan too, one day I jumped up and kicked a boy out of the window in school.
Wonderful.
He fell and broke his knee.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
That was the worst 1 week of my life.
But how can you say that?
It was the 1 week of my life. And it was all because of Labista.
That's what I'm saying. How would you attribute that to me?
We made holes in people's windows because we want to peep through to watch your video, watch your movie, because we didn't have TVs in our own houses.
Right.
That was how come. Oh, God. I never knew then that one day we'll sit down like this to be having a conversation.
That is the dynamics of life.
And if you look at, I'm going to tell these boys to lock this studio. After this interview, you're going to tell me how you're going to pay me for that 1 week, pay me back for that 1 week of trouble. And of course, I'm also going to tell you how I'm going to pay you back for making my childhood so memorable, so exciting.
That's better. That's better, because I was going to tell you that if you intend to lock the studio until I pay you before I step out of here, then you may have to deal with bringing the roof down.
Because you're Labista.
Because I'm still Labista.
We now have two Labistas in this place.
You understand? The original and the fake. It's not two Labista now. It's original Labista and the fake Labista. As a matter of fact, there are so many fake Labistas,
No, you can say you are the master and I am your successful mentee.
I wouldn't give you that until I have seen what you've done as do you understand? You know the funny thing? Almost everywhere I go to, almost everywhere that I have traveled to, I always have somebody telling me how my movie affected them, positively or negatively. And I have met so many Labistas in physical and online. So that movie, I don't know, but I think...
That movie, there was something about that movie.
Yes, it had a lot of impact. Today, like this morning, somebody sent me that jacket, the original jacket of the movie, Labista, on Facebook. Somebody copied it on Facebook and sent to me. So it still has its impact on people till today.
Now, 22 years later, people still look at you and call you Labista.
Yes.
That fictional character's name. Do you sometimes feel like that character's name affected your real name or placed a limit to what your real name could achieve beyond Labista?
I wouldn't say the character name affected what my real name could have achieved. The only thing I'll say is that the character name hid a little bit of my real name, because if the character name gave me presence, because it did give me presence, it made me famous. Wherever I go, people sing the name Labista. So that means the character name actually projected me towards what I am supposed to achieve, better than what my real name could have done.
And I need you to describe what became of you as a result of that movie. How did it affect your personal life and your career as an actor?
It actually changed my career. That was my turning point in the industry. To bring this to your notice, that story was given to me by somebody in Mbise. I and my friend went to his village. Then I met a guy called Nadi. He gave me that story on a on a sheet of paper.
Oh, you own that story?
Yes, he was given to me by the guy, Nadi. He wrote it on a piece of paper. He gave it to me and I read it and I told him that this story, I'm going to make a movie out of it and I'm going to play the lead and that this story is going to turn my life around. That was what I told him. Then I left that village with that story and then I started to develop it. It took me 6 months to screenplay that story into a movie. And as at the time I screenplayed that movie, I had nothing. I had no shishi in the industry. I was still playing gangster roles, Chike Juro, Teko Benson would only call me to play the bad boys, the criminals, bodyguards and stuff like that. So I didn't really have any presence in the industry yet as at that time. So I took this, after I finished screenplaying, I think I used the last money I had to type it. And then I left Lagos to Onitsha in search of a producer, someone that's going to produce the movie. Then we had some top reigning marketers. The industry was dominated by the marketers then. So we had some top reigning marketers like Sonny Collins, Remy Jess. This is where the two people that I met first. Remy Jess said that if he has to take the story, that I'm not going to play the lead, that he's just going to play me as one of the characters. And I said to him, no, sir. If you're not playing me the lead, please give me my story back. He gave me my story, I left. I went to the one called Sonny Collins. Sonny Collins was about the biggest marketer then. When I went to his shop, too much goods and services were just moving up and down, money, flowing up and down. So he didn't really give me attention. He had no time for me. After waiting for so many hours, I had to leave. I was so hungry, I had to just get up and leave. Then I left. When I left his shop, I stood in the middle of that Iweka market, thinking of which marketer I should meet next. Then I remembered a marketer that I had shot a movie for. His name is Danga Movies. I shot a movie called Bad Boys for him. Me, Jerry Amilo, Ramsey Noah, Stella Damasos, and Alaso Wariboko, who were in the movie called Bad Boys. So I now asked someone, they directed me to his shop, and I went to him and I said to him that, look, I have this story. You're going to like it. Then he said to me, look, I have so many stories. I don't think I'll have time for this yours. But if you don't mind, you could leave it with me. Whenever I finish shooting the rest of the stories, then I could look at yours. And I said to him, I don't mind leaving it with you. By the way, that was the only script I had. There was no duplicates. And I said to him that I don't mind leaving it because I believe in you. I've shot with you before, so I know what you can do. He said, okay. So I gave him the story. And then the marketers, they weren't the ones reading. They would give to their secretary. So he gave the story to his secretary to read. So immediately after that time, I went to Enugu. I and Ifeanyi Onyabo, rest in peace. We had a contract to shoot a musical video for Fada Mbaka. Yeah, so I was the manager of the production for the musical video. So we had to shoot 2 weeks in Enugu and then 2 weeks in Jos. So we shot 2 weeks in Enugu, after which we now traveled to Jos. So while we were filming in Jos, I and Fada Mbaka were on top of the rock, went high on top of the rock. I aided him to climb the rock. That was when I got a call from Danga Movies. So that was just barely 2 to 3 weeks later after I left the script with him. He now called me. He said, Ima, Kebino, where are you? He said, Danga, I did Jos. He said, what are you doing in Jos? I said, I'm shooting. Shooting what? He was so eager. I said, I'm shooting for Fada Mbaka. He said, when are you finishing? I said, I'll finish in the next 1 week. He said, once you finish, come to Onitsha immediately. Let me give you money so that you can go and start shooting that movie. I said, which movie? He said, Labista. No, he didn't mention Labista. He said, the script you brought. I said, I should come. We can shoot. He said, yes. I was overwhelmed. I was surprised. I was shocked. Someone that told me that he was going to finish the rest of the stories that he had before he would attend to mine. So apparently, the moment the secretary read that story, the secretary told him, Oga, Leave every other story and shoot this one.
Smart decision.
Smart move, yes. So he took to that advice. So after when I finished, I came to Onitsha. We now talked. He now mobilized me that I should go ahead and do whatever I needed to do. He gave me some money. I went to Port Harcourt because Labista is an oil story.
Yes.
So, and me, I believe in shooting any story that I want to shoot. I believe in shooting it in an area that accommodates the story. So being an oil story, I just felt that the best place to shoot that kind of story would be Port Harcourt, River State. So I went to Port Harcourt, went to a friend of mine's house, and then from there, I did location Reiki. And Ifeanyi Onyabo was to direct the movie. So I and Ifeanyi talked, and that was it. We called an audition, had all our main characters. Jerry Amilo played my Uncle Mark. Yes, yeah, a few days ago, someone wrote me on Facebook. He said, "Where is that your uncle? Uncle Mark, that's in the movie, played by Jerry Amilo." He said, "Please, when you see him, kill him again." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yes, kill him again." And I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Because that guy messed up in the movie. He messed up so bad. He killed your father, took your oil. He's so wicked." I said, okay, just take it easy. And by the way, the next day it was Jerry Abilo's birthday, just last week. And I told Jerry about it. So that was it. And then from there, we shot the movie. At first, I gave the concepts, the poster concepts, graphic concept, everything. I gave it to the marketer to use, but apparently he used his own at the end of the day. But he didn't know that the movie was going to have such an impact. But when the movie came out, you know the way you will pour fuel on the floor and then light the fire. That was how that movie took over.
It was everywhere.
It went viral. Everybody watched it, like everywhere. Instantly, I became a celebrity. Instantly, I became a star. Now, check now, 23 years later, and everybody's still calling me the same name. People barely know my real name.
Everywhere.
By the way, my name is Ehumadu. Emmanuel Ehumadu. That's my real name. But y'all like to call me Labista. I'm comfortable with it. But for those of you that do not know my real name, it's Emmanuel Ehumadu.
There are just few actors whose character names
take them over.
Their names.
Yes.
Osofia. You.
Mr. Ibu.
Mr. Ibu.
Yes, myself.
Aki and
Popo.
And these are all legends.
Who else? There
Mama
are very
G.
few of us. Yes, Mama G.
Yes.
There are very few of us, even globally. In the Western movies, somebody like Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo.
Predator or Terminator. You understand? Yes. Commando. As a matter of fact, that was the number one for Arnold Schwarzenegger. So there are movies that actually takes over the character's name only if that movie is strong enough and successful.
I can't tell you how many times I watched that movie. It was an obsession.
Yes, it was for a lot of people. It was.
Oh, thank God for deliverance.
Now you're delivered, right?
I am delivered from that movie. Do you know now as we're having this conversation, I feel like going back to watch it again.
I know.
I can't remember how many times I watched it. Even when I got my own place, grew up, I was still going to the market to go and look for the CD. To watch. I will buy it tomorrow, it will crack. You know how easy it is. You go back and buy another one. Beautiful movie.
Yes,
now, I am actually surprised that you were the one who developed the story and worked with a marketer to produce it. I was going to ask you how much you were paid because I thought you were just a cast in the movie. I was going to ask you how much you made for all of that popularity.
Yes, I was actually paid, because when an actor brings a story to a marketer, you draw up your budgets and submit. For the fact that the marketer is the one bringing the money, automatically the marketer becomes the producer. While you that is doing the job, you become the associate producer. So as an associate producer, I had a budget for the role I played as an associate producer. I had a budget for the role I played as the actor, the lead actor. But then I was not that famous. So everything that I made or that was paid to me then was 200,000 naira. Yeah, so that was
as an
nothing.
associate producer and as
a lead
actor.
Yes, I was paid 200,000 naira, but I didn't mind and I didn't care. All I wanted was to bring that movie to life, play the character to the best of my knowledge, because deep down in me, I knew that that movie was going to change my life. And it did change my life, yes. So the money didn't really mean anything to me. He made all the money and I made all the fame. So the fame now took me to the next level. So subsequently, anybody that came to me to use me in their movies, they were now paying 500, 600, 700, 800. That was how I kept climbing to the point that I was paid 1 million there. As at 2014, I think, yes, that was the peak of my career, 2014, when I was paid 1 million there, and the marketers would line up to use me, movie after movie, movie after movie. I was referred to as the number one action actor when it comes to guns and handling of guns. I don't think there's any kind of gun in Nigeria that I have not touched or handled.
Labista is Sakaba, and the third movie that had such impact on me was State of Emergency.
State of Emergency.
These three movies, I hardly remember movie names, but these three movies, oh God.
Are you aware that I'm in State of Emergency?
Of course. Of course, I know.
So you're a big fan.
These are movies I watched repeatedly over and over and over. Yes. And I could still picture all the faces. You guys looked much younger then. I could still picture all the faces. But you are a Nollywood legend by every measure. And also you've played the role of leadership in the movie industry, in AGN. I read that you were once an AGN chairman of Abia State. I don't know if that is correct. Oh, currently.
Yes.
Good. Do you think that roles are given to people because of their talent or connection in the movie industry?
Okay. When we talk about issues like this, we have to break it into two, because the Nollywood of our time is different from the Nollywood of this time. The Nollywood of our time, everything we did out of passion and love for the creative industry. Then it was all about the talents. You don't cast anybody because you love this person more than this person. The marketers were very, very particular about who they give, especially the lead character and the sub-lead, because it is the lead character that sells the movie. The lead character is responsible for the kind of money that should come back from that production. So there's no marketer that will want to play someone who is not talented enough to make him or her money as the lead character. So everything was all about the talents, the passion, and your ability to interpret the roles and character that's been given to you. Because once you do it so well, then it will make money for them, then they will come back to you, and others will also line up to use you. So there are so many talented actors in Nollywood, especially then, that were sold out. They sell out movies. Genevieve, once you touch her, you know you touch gold.
Mm-hmm.
Omotola, Jim Ike, Ramsey Noah. Look, I can go on and on. Emeka Ike, like, it choke. Nigerian Nollywood industry has the best of African talent when it comes to movie making. And we can stand toe-to-toe, head-to-head with anybody, any actor across the world.
But why does it seem, to me personally, it seems like the movies we see today are AI-generated content.
That's what it looks like.
It's not as original as in your own days.
That's because they focus so much on glamour these days. The focus is on glamour. And when you have to do glamour, there are so many things that comes with it. You see them fixing long nails. wearing long hairs, and now the girls have to like, pad their asses and stuff like that. You understand? Put a lot of artificialities. Their nyash, their breasts, their lips, their face. You understand? That is so much, is in vogue in today's Nollywood. And so when you see them, some of them don't look real. So you think they are AI characters. But they are still real. But you can't compare our movies with what they do today.
No, you guys did classic movies. I've been an actor. I've acted in a few movies.
Okay.
I've acted with the likes of Junior Pope, God rest his soul, Wada Anga, even Mama G, Chimetelago, and the rest.
Oh, okay.
But I stopped at some point.
Why?
And the reason I stopped was my experience.
Okay.
Then we had nothing. So it was just from one audition to another looking for roles. And I had very ugly experiences twice. One was with a director who told me eyeball to eyeball that I need to sleep with him if I needed a certain role. It sounded strange to me.
The director, a man.
A man.
Telling
me that I was going to sleep. He said, just do what other people are doing. Your feet, your this and blah, blah, blah. That is how you become a star. He was open. This director is from Cross River. I will never forget his name. And then the second one was a lady, someone I could consider to be my grandmother. And then my full name is Kel Armstrong Amobi. She said something I will never forget. When I told her my name, she said, Nya Amu Shirigike. This is how she did.
Based on the Armstrong.
Yes. Amu Shirigike. I just do this and do that. It was disgusting to me. And then I sat back and I realized that it was not just about the talent, that it was something else. The reason why I'm saying this is because I want to ask you if you faced the same thing, if you had such experience. Has anyone ever asked you to do something that you do not like because of a role?
No one ever asked me that. It's not like they don't exist. It's not like they don't ask people or ask upcoming actors. But for me, no one ever did. I think reason is face if you have face. Do you understand? You cannot look at a man like me. Wait, Mark, come on this glass. You can't look at someone like me and you being a man, you will approach me to bust loose my ass for a role. No, I'm a mother you first now. What do you? So, okay, listen. My early days in the industry, I and my group of friends were known as the thugs of Nollywood. You understand? Not because of the roles that were played, but naturally in nature, you don't just touch us. I'm a martial artist. I'm a weightlifter. I do workouts. So if you see us, our muscles are always bulging. You understand? So sometimes when we're even coming out to where we used to call Winnie's Hotel, then where we used to gather before the advent of GSM, that's where we usually meet for auditions and check whose name is in the next list and stuff like that. Sometimes after working out in the gym, we come on singlets. You understand? So when you see us, you just see muscles, they bulge anywhere. Fiado will catch you to approach me and tell me that kind of thing. Or you see somebody like Gentle Jack and you approach him to tell him that kind of thing. We have the other one called Zoza, George Davison. You see us and you tell us, you will just be digging your own grave. You understand? So they never crossed my path or the likes of me. They never crossed my path. Why I would say they did that to you is because looking at you now, you look soft. You understand? You look like someone who cannot, beat someone. Maybe if they tell you certain things, you start crying and stuff like that. Okay,
so that is how I look.
Yes, even right now, that's still how you look.
My face must be very deceptive.
You understand? It's the looks. You understand? We're not talking about, because looks, physical looks is different from the inner looks. So your physical appearance will appeal to them like you can't do nothing.
Yeah, this is daddy's boy.
Daddy's boy and that or mommy's boy and stuff like that.
Oh God.
So they will approach you with that, hoping that you cannot do anything.
And then also, when they look at you, they see the desperation.
Yes, that's another thing. When you're that desperate, they could also take advantage of you.
Yes.
Somebody gave me a story where he was sleeping on the bed with some other guys, and then later he started feeling something, on his ass. When he woke up, he saw this producer on him, and he was like, what is that? What's going on? He said, shh, unless you don't want the role. You understand? So we've heard about stuff like this. I have not seen. I always hear.
I have seen. The one I told you was just the least of my experience with these people. There was one I beat the guy up so much that I was looking at him, he dried up. You know how someone dries up within few minutes? I'm physically strong, very strong. And
being a junior Labista, I can imagine.
So we used to be breaking cement blocks with our hands like this. After watching your videos and the likes of Jet Li and Jackie Chan videos, we'll practice such things. So the guy was like, very good looking guy, my friend. And this one, I traveled out. So when I came back, I was like, my friend, his name is Duru. Come, what's up? He was in Nollywood industry. Let's connect back. He came to the house. And while I was I was showing him stuff in my iPad, and he wasn't paying attention.
He was thinking of something else.
He was thinking of something, and the next thing he did was just stood up to come and kiss me. I was lying down on the bed. I waged him. I was like, Kilode, what's up? What's wrong? I said, come on now, why you say so? That was how we did it. Jesus Christ.
And normal me, Ola will follow.
I stood up.
Will follow next.
I stood up. I was putting on a jacket. I removed it because I gym. I also have good muscles. I didn't need him to see that I'm a man. I didn't know that I just turned him on. If you see the way this guy rushed me, you know the way you pin a woman on the wall?
Yeah.
This guy pushed me to the wall. I was bringing his mouth close. Oh, God. You know that kind of slap that covers both ear, eye, mouth, and nose together?
5 fingers.
Oh. He on his face. The way I beat that guy up that day, it was. But I don't know. Such things, it disgusts me.
It's quite disgusting.
But I want to ask, I've always been curious why people like you attain such height in Nollywood, in your careers, suddenly disappears from the scene. What happened? Is it that you guys sometimes get tired of the career, or marketers get tired of seeing your faces? What exactly happens? Like you, it's been a long time we've not been seeing you in recent movies.
Yes. Like all my fans are crying these days. They're like, Labista, we don't get to see you. I have not seen your recent movie. What's happening? Labista, give us a hit. Give us another hit. Man. It's not like I lost interest in acting. I mean, once an actor, always an actor. I never quitted. Till today, if I get a script with good money, I will go on set. But what happened is change, is the most constant thing in life. Is change. Change will always happen. Technology also happened. When we moved from the cassettes, when I go into the industry, the one I met is the cassettes.
Yes.
From cassette, we moved to the CDs. Now, from CDs, the CDs has also faded. Now, everything has gone digital. Now, when the CDs faded, remember, the industry was being controlled by the marketers. And we had so many of the marketers. So if this one is not filming today, the other one is filming tomorrow, the other one is filming next tomorrow. There are marketers that like to make action movies. There are the ones that like to make comedy. There's one that like to do love movies and stuff like that. But when the movie setting changed from the CDs to digital, they didn't have any market to sell their CDs anymore. So this has restricted the number of marketers that film. It has lessened them real bad, And since that happened, a lot of people now shoot for YouTube. And because YouTube cannot guarantee you the kind of amount that will come out of it. You could put in 10 million naira to make a movie, put it on YouTube, and you'll be making 1 million naira.
That is true.
Yeah, so there's no guarantee to what you can make. So this discourages a lot of producers from making movies. So that's why you don't get to see a lot of actors. And even eventually they decide to call you for a movie, they'll be pricing you peanuts. And I told them that I have paid my dues. I have done everything there is to do in this industry. You can't come at this point in time in my life and be pricing me peanuts. It's not going to change my life. It's not going to make a difference for me. As a celebrity out there, the moment I step into the public, I start to spend money. So anything that is not making me good money, not just money, because if I say money, 10,000 naira is money.
Yes, of
1,000
course.
is money, yes. So anything that is not making me good money, I don't want to be part of it. So when they call me and they price their peanuts, I tell them that, look, I can't. You can't be pricing me something I collected 10, 15 years ago, and you want me to collect that still now. Then dollar was
180
naira to, you
150.
understand, 150. And then now dollar is 1,400 plus, and you still want me to collect the same amount? I said, no, I can't do it. So I'd rather channel my energy to something else. I already have the fame, I have the presence, and I'm a man, a strong, hustling man. I can channel my energy to something else to make money for myself and my family. So that's why you don't get to see me do a lot of movies these days, And I also produce, I direct, but I don't produce and direct often. I'm not a commercial director because they can't even pay me. The role of the director is the most difficult in the filmmaking because he's involved from the script writing till the time the movie is released. The director is involved, the producer too. So these are very tasking roles that one can play in a film production. So if the money is not commensurate to the time and energy that I put in there, it's not worth it for me. Not this time.
That is correct.
Yes. So I tell my fans, you guys should just bear with me and just calm down. I'm going to figure out a way to make the same kind of movies that you guys used to watch me and you guys used to love.
We can't wait to have you back.
Yes.
We can't wait to have you back because, we need real men like you in the industry who will give real men like us real men's movie.
By the way, I shot some movies recently, but my fans complained. They said, those are not my kind of films. They didn't see me hold any gun. They didn't see me threaten everybody.
You can't successfully be a romance playing actor. It doesn't fit you. That is the truth. We imagine seeing you playing a romantic husband.
My wife for you. Why wouldn't I?
It won't fit you.
Lie.
We don't know you like that.
Just say you don't know me like that. Don't say
we don't know you like that.
Because people are used to seeing you do action. So.
Just imagine seeing Commando playing the role of Mr. B.
You'll be waiting to see where he will pull out the gun.
This is why you're called Commando. Pull out gun to shoot somebody.
I understand that completely.
But this thing you explain now, is it the reason why most Nollywood legends are poor despite their fame? We've heard a lot of them, especially when they are sick. They don't even have enough money to treat themselves. Most of them come publicly to beg for support. Is it the reason? Is it that Nollywood doesn't pay enough? They just wasted their time and had fame and not money?
Yes.
Or is it that they lack proper financial management?
No. I get that a lot. Recently, Hank Anuku was on the news. He was seen on the road acting up funny characters, and the people were like, what happened to all his money? This guy has money. All the movies that he did, why did he not set himself up? Listen, if you are not wearing the crown, you will not understand. If you're not the one wearing the shoes, you will know how it pinches. Let me tell you this. So many years in the industry making movies, we were practically making money for the marketers. Do you understand? The marketers were the ones making all the money. We were just being paid. But I call all that money peanuts, because you pay me now, as much as I am to shoot back to back, which is after this movie, another one is waiting for me. Whatever you pay me now, before I finish that movie, that money is finished. That money is finished. You understand? Considering how expensive and costly living in Nigeria is. And then the life of a celebrity is different from the life of the ordinary person. As a celebrity, you need to wear the kind of clothes that people will see you and admire you. Once they see you, they will size you up from your head to your toe. So you just have to live like one. You could call it faking it, but it is what it is. So if you have to fake it to make it, then it has to be. So in the course of doing that, you don't get to save up a lot because the money is nothing to write home about. So this is what happened so many years down the lane. And then when eventually the movies were not coming anymore, you see that you didn't really have any savings. You really had no savings. So it's not because of the change that a lot of the celebrities are poor. No, it's because during their active days, not enough money was given or paid to them. Remember, you spend every day from your house rent to feeding your family, transportation, going from one place to the other, and all of that.
Expectations from relatives and even fans.
So you do what you got to do. You don't meet everybody's expectations, but then you just have to sacrifice for some people to be okay. In the course of doing that, man, you don't get to save up a lot. You don't get to. There are very few actors that I can categorically tell you that they made money from Nollywood. There are very few of them that made money from Nollywood, while a whole lot of others didn't make money from Nollywood. There are actors today that are living well. They did not make their money from Nollywood. They made money from other things that they ventured into. But if it is Nollywood, nah. You see the kind of money that the music sector makes today? Nollywood doesn't have that. Even till today, in as much as some of the top actors in Nollywood today, like the newbie actors, I hear some of them are being paid up to 3 million. But man, 3 million naira for a top actor is nothing. It's nothing. But then the producer may not be able to pay more than that because where is he going to get the money from? Which market is he going to get his money back from? You understand? So marketers actually made more money during the sales of CDs than whoever that films today makes today. They made more money then than they are making today.
And they were reasonably in control.
Yes, they were so much in control. They were in control of everything. Who they use, where they use, what they use. They were just in control of everything. To the point that they could ban actors and tell you that you're not going to act again. You're not going to act again.
Yeah, they had so much power too.
So much. It is this change that broke their powers.
Decentralized
them. And unfortunately for them, they were not able to look into the future and build for the future. So a whole lot of them are also going back to the village, going back to farming, going back to other things. The ones that were smart enough were able to invest. Some of them built hotels. Some went into other kind of businesses, importations and all of that. So those are the ones that are still surviving today because they were able to invest the money they made then. So that is the situation that Nollywood faces.
Were at the peak of your career, tell me, what kind of expectation did people have of you, like your relative, family members? Of course, we are Nigerians, we are Africans. Once you have a celebrity brother,
yes,
or a celebrity uncle, relation, you expect them to take care of your entire family, pay your children's school fees and all of that. Did you suffer the same thing?
My case was a little bit different because my family didn't believe in me. My family, when I got into the movies, my family didn't really believe in what I was doing. They didn't see any future in Nollywood. They didn't think Nollywood was going to be anything outstanding like it is today. So, but I kept doing what I was doing all by myself. I took it upon myself. I saw a future in what I was doing. So that's why I put in my all. So eventually, my fame started to creep in little by little. So my family, whenever we are together, they start to see the aura. They start to see the glory. That's when they'll be like, this is my brother and that star. You understand? So
that thing is true.
Yeah, so this is really true. Like whenever we go back to the village, unless the village boys don't know I'm the one in the car coming. The moment, that's why anytime I have to travel, it has to be a tinted car. If not, if I step into my city, unless I'm not in a tinted car, if they see me, the crowd that will pull up, they will gather and they will chase that car, especially the young boys, kids. They will chase that car up to my family compound. So whoever that is in my family house, the only way they get to know I'm the one is wherever you are inside the house, you will be hearing the chant, Labista, Labista, Labista. Then everybody starts to come and say, Labista don't show. They'll call me by my native name.
Yeah.
And you know, I got it to outside, stuff like that. The way you come out, you see the crowd. So I always prepare myself for the kids, buy one or two things. So once I come in, I share for everybody, and then they go on and keep singing the songs, back there. So that's it. So eventually, my fame crept in, and then my family got to know that, okay, so this is what it is. So that's it. So I didn't really come from a family that believed in entertainment, and they thought I was going to make it and gave me the support. No, they didn't.
So you as a wayward son.
Yeah, they just looked at me like I was wayward, like, I didn't know what I was doing and stuff like that. It was my elder brother at a point in time, once, because he's a fan of movies. So every now and then he sees my jacket, he'll be like, that's my brother. He takes the CD home and plays it. He'll be watching, and then, he's always excited. Yes, he watches and he's excited about it. Anybody around him, that's my younger brother. My brother. I didn't tell you that my brother. Wait, let me call him before you know he called me. There was a time that nobody believed me. He'd be saying that that's my brother. They would not believe him. He would say, one day,
at least,
yes, so that they'll see us and understand that what I'm telling them is the truth. And every now and then I go there and, give him that honors.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, let us talk about politics. This is where we're going to fight.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Nigeria has a way of fighting over politics.
And that is why I paused. I needed to also come down from where we had gotten to, so we can pick it up again.
All right, let's go. I'm here with you.
You've openly supported Tinubu.
Yes, I did.
Openly. And not just you. The likes of Sarkozy have interviewed Sarkozy,
Yes.
Yul Edochie have interviewed Yul,
Yes.
and so many of your colleagues. The first question I would have wanted to ask is, do you guys support the administration because of the hardship in the movie industry that you just explained? But I would want you to tell me why you support the man.
Okay. 2023, or before 2023, we had 3 outstanding candidates going for the seat of the presidency. We had His Excellency Bola Tinubu, where we had His Excellency Peter Obi. Then we also had His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. These were the 3 candidates. Now, I looked at the 3 of them and I made my choice who I should support. Whom I supported is because of the person's track record, his political track record, the impact that they have made in the past. I looked at Atiku. Atiku was one-time vice president under the regime of Obasanjo. When he was a vice president, what did he achieve? He practically didn't achieve anything, so long as I'm concerned. He was giving money to change the electricity settings in Nigeria, but he failed. He didn't do that, and today we're still going through that issue of having constant electricity, because he did not do that. And I looked at the second person, Mr. Peter Obi. He was a one-time governor of Anambra State. Then I looked at his achievements. He made relatively impacts in Anambra State as the governor then. I think he impacted on education and then road infrastructure. And talking about infrastructures, I think the only infrastructure he was able to build, correct me if I'm wrong, was the brewery that he built in Anambra State. Aside that, I do not know of any other. Then I looked at Bola Tinubu, and I was living in Lagos State. I lived in Lagos State for a very long time. I knew how Lagos was. Lagos was, before Bola Ahmed became the governor of Lagos State was, you could call it the city of gangsters. You know, Agberos were in control of everything on the streets. You could wake up in the morning and you see a dead person lying on the street. An Agbero stabbed somebody, they kill somebody here, kill somebody there. They'll tell you, don't go here if you must, don't park here, drive past here speedily and stuff like that. And everywhere was dirty. Lagos was smelly. There was trash everywhere. But when Bola Ahmed Asiwaju came in, became the governor of Lagos State, all of that changed. He showcased his ingenuity as a governor. He put in efforts, and there's something about his style that I like. He would not chase you away. If you're doing bad, he won't chase you away. Rather, he will bring you close and change your bad attitude to good. He will give you responsibility that you can achieve with your kind of person. So that was what he did with all these Agbero boys. He gathered them under one umbrella and made them LASMA. They had orientation, had leadership, and they changed. Even though they didn't change immediately, but over time, we saw LASMA putting the Lagos streets and motorists in order. Because then you could just see a long queue of hold up. Mm-hmm. And then you're wondering what's happening. Nothing, is just bus people parking on the street to pick passengers. And they will pick to their satisfaction before they move. And then before the traffic will start to flow again. But with the event of the LASMA, all of that changed. Then I'm also aware that he ruled Lagos State without federal government allocations. You know, it was from the internal generated revenue, Lagos internal generated revenue, that he was able to rule Lagos State for almost the 8 years that he ruled Lagos State. He raised the IGR from 10 billion to 50 billion, monthly. So I looked into what they achieved before coming out to be president. So this was why I supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A lot of people were like, you're an Igbo man. Why wouldn't you support an Igbo man, which is supporting Peter Obi? And I tried to make them understand that first, you should consider yourself a Nigerian. You should put your country first before you talk about tribe. I am not the kind of person that like to put tribe first. I see everybody as equal. If you're an Igbo man and there's a Yoruba man and there's a Hausa man, I would not look at your tribes, but I will look at your attitude towards me, your acceptability towards who I am. You understand? How we communicate. Are we friends or not? What makes us friends? What is the basis of our friendship? Is it because you're my tribe's person? No. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think all through my career, I've been favored by people that are not even Igbos than the ones that are Igbos. So I do not put tribalism in front of me in anything I do. I look at credibility and what you have achieved. So this was the things I looked at that made me support.
Beautiful answer. I wouldn't want us to start debating about their credibility, their achievement during their times as governors or vice presidents, talking about Atiku Abubakar. I will leave the audience to do that. Of course, it has always been going on. on social media where you bring in the track record of every individual, and you have your right to support anyone you want to support. But my next question is, since 2023 till now, do you feel regretful that you supported Tinubu? Do you think Tinubu has done well as a president?
I do not have any regrets. As a matter of fact, if Tinubu hadn't pulled the kind of strings that he pulled about Nigeria, Nigeria would have been on a different level by now. Because the last administration before his ridiculed the country, drained the country. Like, it was almost like they didn't know what was going on. There was so much looting under the Buhari's regime that he, the former president, rest in peace, had no idea what was even going on. This is a country where individuals make more money than the federal government or even the state government. And they make these monies from shady deals and corrupt practices. But Tinubu, one basic thing that he did that changed the face of this country is the removal of the fuel subsidy, which a whole lot of other presidents tried to do, but the powers that we're gaining from that subsidy did not want that to happen. Nigeria has been surviving under this IQ and concept called godfatherism. Even till today in politics, if you want to be actively involved in politics, they will tell you that you have to find a godfather that is going to carry you along. Now, one of the reasons Tinubu is succeeding is because he has nobody that he can call a godfather. Rather, he was a godfather that now is a president. So nobody's going to control, command, or tell him what to do, so long as he believes that what he's doing is right. The removal of the oil subsidy, we have seen the impact of that removal. Nigeria is generating so much money today. The governors are getting 3 times the former allocation that they used to have. So if a governor like His Excellency Alex Oti of Abia State can perform the kind of miracle, because what he's doing in Abia State today is nothing short of miracle. We call it miracle because we have seen the worst of leadership in Abia State before he came in. So in less than 4 years, we have seen the magic that Alex Oti has performed in Abia State. And that is because he has enough funds to do what he's doing. So the same kind of funds goes to every other state governor. So imagine if every state governor is performing like Alex Oti. Would you not praise the president that he is doing well?
Okay. We're going to break all of this down. We're going to also come to the issue of fuel subsidy removal, and we'll see how it affects the country. And we're going to come to the looting part, because Nigerians would argue that the looting going on in this administration is like times 10 of the looting that went on during Buhari's administration. But can you boldly look at the eyes of Nigerians and tell them that life is better for Nigerians now than it was 3 years ago?
Okay.
Can you confidently say that to Nigerians?
The issue here is that what we are feeling is the initial impact of the removal of the fuel subsidy, because immediately President Bola Tinubu announced the removal of the subsidy, everything skyrocketed. Don't forget that Nigerians, we also have a way of taking advantage of situations. He only announced, the implementation had not even started, but everything just went up. And since then, everything has been up. So what we're feeling is the direct impact of that removal of the subsidy, which is what is supposed to be. Like, it is a necessary act. The removal is a necessary act. The suffering that Nigerians are going through today is also a necessary part of living because of that removal. We're only going to go through it for a while until things stabilizes. It's not going to remain like this forever. It's not going to remain like this for too long.
Do you have an idea when things are going to stabilize?
I do not have an idea.
Because that is
I'm
the
not in the
question
government.
Nigerians are going to be asking. When you tell them, relax, suffer now, things are going to get better, and things are not getting better. So they would want to ask, and that is one of the transparency in governance that Nigerians are asking for. You're doing this, you came on your first day in government and announced that fuel subsidy is gone, without putting any measures in place for the effect, to cushion the effect on your people. And we've suffered since almost 4 years now. We kept on hearing, relax, things are going to get better. And Nigerians would ask, when will these things get better?
You know,
are we going to continue until we are all dead before things will get better?
Nobody is dying. I think one of the major challenge we Nigerians have is we lack patience. You understand? Because the new dispensation, which is this administration.
Do you think we actually lack patience?
Yes. I
don't think Nigerians lack patience.
No,
we are very patient people.
No, Nigerians are patient, but see, if you and I are working on a project and you leave it for me alone to work on, it will take me a longer time to achieve. But if you and I are working on a project, don't forget that there is no project that is easy.
Mm-hmm.
You must put in efforts to make it work. So if you and I are working on a project and you and I put in efforts to make it work, it will take a shorter time than when you leave it for I alone. So what I'm just trying to say here basically is that as the governments are doing their part to make things better, we as individuals, what are we doing to make things better? Because here in Nigeria, we like to apportion all the blames to Nigeria. I mean, apportion all the blames to the government. We don't like to take any part of the blame. So you see somebody that brings out trash from his house. Instead of dumping it inside the trash can, he tosses it into the gutter, the drainage, where water is supposed to flow. There's a trash where you throw trash. The drainage is for water to flow. And you pack the trash and you dump them in the drainage. Another person dumps, another person dumps. And before you know it, the drainage blocks. The moment it blocks, that same person that did that, we call the government. That the government is not doing anything. Look at how everywhere is flooded. But he forgot that he contributed to that issue. So we as Nigerians, we like to complain. We like to apportion blames, but we don't like to be part of the growth.
Don't you think that the leader's responsibility is to live an exemplary lifestyle that the citizens can imitate? How do you want the citizens to live right when the leaders are nothing close to living right? I will give you an example.
Okay.
I drive in this Abuja and I like to keep the traffic light. So sometimes I could be even in midnight when people just drive, when the road is empty, I'll stop and wait for the traffic light. Whenever I'm parked waiting for traffic, you will see some people, especially the politicians with their convoy. Pia, pia, pia. You see police people in the same convoy, hitting people, throwing water on people, taxi people, passerby, beating the red traffic. And as they are passing, you will see taxi people following them. You see other people running after them on red light.
The issue of the taxi people, they don't need the politicians for them to beat the red light. It's almost like they are accustomed.
Yeah, because people now look at their leaders and say, after all, they are doing it. Why should we be the one? I'm talking about having patience. Nigeria, when you say that the effect of the previous administration is what we are suffering now, and that Nigerians should be patient because things are going to get better. When Nigerians look at politicians, okay, you want us to be patient. But you're buying exotic cars for yourself, 200 million naira cars for each of you, House of Rep members, senators. You're budgeting billions for wardrobe allowance. You're flying in and out of the country, doing nothing, squandering the money of the public fund. You're doing a whole lot of, you're not cutting down cost of governance, but you're asking Nigerians to be patient and endure with you because there is no money in the country. That is what people look at and ask if this government is being sincere. They should start by cutting down cost of governance. All the looting and relooting and everything that is going on in the country seems nobody is handling it. But I would want to ask you, in terms of economy, security, and the undescribable amount of corruption that is going on in this country, how would you expect an ordinary Nigerian to give the president another 4 years?
Nigeria has gone through a lot over the years. We have had the worst of leadership. It didn't start today. Our case is like the issue of a tree that was planted so many years ago and the tree has grown. The taproot is still down inside there, the ground, absorbing everything that taproot absorbs is based on the corrupt system. The system has been corrupt for a very long time. It's going to take, I'm not going to say a lot, it's going to take something magical to bring the issue of corruption, to nip it at the bud in Nigeria. It's going to take a very magical president to nip that corruption at the bud. And I don't see it as something that can happen overnight. It's something that has to be built on. We know that the system is corrupt. We know that the politicians are corrupt. But we don't have to kill the country because of that. That's a way something can be happening. That's a way we, the citizens, can follow it up and we can actually buy everybody to our side to defend that situation. If these things that are going on now continue to go on and we, the citizens, continue to kill the country, because my major challenge is the image of the country that we paint out there. So every now and then we give our country a bad image. We give a bad image. Even outside our country, we talk down on our own country. So I'm not defending any politician that he's doing the right thing or the politician is not corrupt, is not looting. I'm just saying that how we go about this matters. It truly, truly matters. If you have a son and you know that this son is bad, and every time you cuss on him, you chase him out, you tell him, you bad boy, you bad pikin, get out of my house, I don't want to see you around me. That child of yours will never change for good. He will never change. So I believe in diplomacy. I also believe on roundtable dialogue. We could talk about these issues and discuss on how to bring these changes to the benefit of the common man. So the approach that we as Nigerians give to situations also matters. It will get to a point where the politicians will have to think twice before they do certain things.
So you're putting the blame on Nigerians?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's have a different approach other than cussing out all the time.
What do you expect from frustrated people?
No.
If people become frustrated, you expect anger. You expect violence. That is the truth. When a man is hungry, if you are a man,
I'm a man.
You look, I know you're a man. I'm referring to other people. As a man, let me put it that way. You come back home in the night. You look at your children. They haven't eaten for one full day. You look at your wife is sick, but you don't even have money to take her to the hospital. You don't have money to renew your rent. Every single business you've attempted to do, the policies of the government has found its way to frustrate and ensure it doesn't work. You look at the suffering, how your children are suffering. How will you feel? How would you feel? Won't you feel frustrated, angry, violent, bitter, and start cursing the people who are causing such suffering for you?
Then when you feel that way and you start to curse, does it make a difference? Does it change anything for you? Does it make your life better?
We're not talking about how it makes, whether it makes us better or what. I'm telling you, it's natural.
I'm focused on solutions.
Wouldn't it be better instead of telling people who are naturally provoked to start cursing and feeling angry and frustrated to change? Wouldn't it be better instead of telling them to stop behaving that way, to instead ask the government or the leaders who are causing what is making these people to feel that way to stop whatever they are doing, start giving us good governance, make things easy for the citizens? That is the answer. You can't keep telling a hungry man, relax, don't feel hungry. The stomach doesn't understand English. As long as you're hungry, your stomach will keep biting you. But if someone gives you food, you don't have to preach to the hunger to disappear. It will disappear on its own. Wouldn't that be a better approach?
You see, the issue of governance is complicated. And finding solution to some of these things is also complicated, in the sense that if a farmer farms in his farm and has farm products that he needs to take to the market, and the road through which he has to take this into the market is bad, it's going to affect everything that he does. But if the road is eventually tarred and the road is good, and then from your way from the farm to the market is smooth, it begins to give you hope that things can get better. So you see, all of these things that is happening in Nigeria is a complicated settings that cannot change overnight. You and I are talking about it now. That's the best that we can do. We talk about it. We try to enforce it. How do we even enforce it? By putting it in the face of the government that this and that needs to be done. That and this needs to be done to make the life of people better. Remember, I told you, Nigeria has come a long way. Nigeria has been in very serious, turbulent, corrupt system that is not going to change overnight. It's only going to take time, and the more we try to impact these changes, it comes in little by little.
Like Nigerians listening to you would say, okay, fine, we accept the fact that the previous government performed poorly. But this man came into power, Tinubu came into power, he promised that he was coming to fix things and make life easier for people. Now I tell you, majority of Nigerians are actually begging that he should return us where he picked us. Because we are not missing Buhari. All right. So, and we're not seeing any effect of anything at all.
Do you sincerely believe that you're not seeing any effect at all?
We are suffering. Labista, in this studio, I spent over 20 million naira to put on solar in this studio. And that is because there is no NEPA light. And this president promised us that if he doesn't give us light in his first 3 years, that we should not vote him again. In fact, we now have balkanized categories of light distribution, where this one is in band A, this one is band B. In my house, I don't have solar there, but I spend 50,000 naira every 3 days on light alone. My car used to fuel my car. 50,000 was enough to fuel my car. But currently, 150,000 naira. I drive a Mercedes, 150,000 naira to fill it up. House rent has skyrocketed. Everything
all
is
of these
worse.
things.
Everything has gotten so worse. People are getting poorer. Do you know what it means? See, before, if you have 1 million naira, you feel like you're a millionaire. Currently, 1 million naira is like 100K. You'll be asking yourself, did anybody steal? Some are even consulted their prophet to see if there are witches stealing their money because they don't understand how they suddenly become poor. So we agree that things were bad. We agree. But tell me, what is this government doing? How has they improved the economy? Or what are they even doing to improve the economy?
There's a lot going on.
Insecurity, that is what I need you to tell me. Insecurity has worsened.
Okay.
Insecurity. What are they doing?
Can we talk about insecurity a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me about state police. There's nothing else.
No.
Tell me,
how
has insecurity gotten any better?
I wasn't even going to talk about state police. I was just going to try to, bring to your attention this insecurity issue.
Has become a business.
It is a business. It's not like has become. It has always been a business.
That is the only answer I get when I ask this question.
Is it not what it is?
But that is not, see, Labista, you are a strong man. If you make me the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today, you've given me the power to be the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federation. I'm in command of every weapon, of every power that exists within the territory of this country. And you're telling me that a man who has been constitutionally empowered that way sits down and the only answer he gives to the citizens is that there are people who have made insecurity a business for them, and that is why he has allowed killings, kidnapping, and slaughtering going on in this country. What then is the essence of the power you have? I can't be a president and you want to make my government or my country ungovernable. And I know there are people who are using insecurity as a business and I allow you to operate. If I allow you to operate freely, it means I'm incompetent. That is
you can't say that they're just allowing them to operate. Are you not aware that the forces, the armed forces are fighting insecurity every day? We have lots of soldiers that lose their lives fighting insecurity on daily basis.
Soldiers that lose their life, God rest their soul, they are sacrificing so much for this country. But the problem is that the politicians who has been constitutionally empowered to ensure they provide every adequate weapon, every resources that the military need to fight this insurgency, this insecurity, they are not doing that. And they have politicized insecurity. So the same people who are doing business with insecurity are the same people who are also leading us. And that is the problem. And I will give you an example.
Okay.
I'm sure you've not thought about it.
Go ahead.
And I'm saying this, I've made a video about it before, so I'm not afraid of saying it. Your vice president was the former governor of Borno State. When he was the former governor of Borno State, a man named Ehumadu Sheriff, who was also a governor of Borno State, came out and made allegations that it was Shetima who started Boko Haram, even though he later came out and denied it. The man who is your vice president, the Boko Haram leader who bombed the Catholic Church in Mandala in this Abuja, Kabiru Sokoto, after he escaped police custody, was later traced and arrested in the governor's lodge. The governor is now the vice president. He was arrested in his lodge in this Abuja. Until today, there is no conclusive investigation on how he found his way to the governor's lodge in this Abuja. The same man, people who've worked with him in the same government have come out to accuse him of patronizing Boko Haram when he was governor. In fact, that he bought vehicles for them and the government house was their headquarters. He bought roasted cattle from them. The same man has also come publicly to say that Boko Harams are our brothers, that they should stop being killed. This is a man who is your VP. Should I talk about the man who is your Minister of Defense for State?
when he was the governor of Borno State, that was under President Buhari. And before President Buhari came into power, it was Goodluck Jonathan. And we are also aware that they did not want Goodluck Jonathan to continue. And part of the plot to stop Goodluck Jonathan was the importation of these mercenaries and all these people, to use them to cut short the person that is in power, to take him out. And I'm also aware that one of the reasons former President Goodluck Jonathan made the call that he made to President Buhari, then congratulating him, was to stop the massacre was to come. Now, you see, all of these people are politicians. They are also hungry for power. Everybody is tossing to grab, to have a grip on that power. So they do what they have to do. Everything you said here is the truth, according to what we heard. But today, he is the vice president. And you're saying that there's no conclusive investigation on what happened.
Yes.
Well, I should think because he is the vice president today, maybe immunity covers him. That's why anything.
He was not vice president before that.
He was a governor, and as a governor too, immunity still covers you.
How can the DSS, who are saddled with the responsibility of background checking every politician before they are allowed to ascend such powerful position, did not do their job when he finished his tenure as a governor, when he was contesting in joint ticket with Tinubu? Why was he allowed?
Yeah.
And people are scared, Labista. See, imagine this. If the women whose husbands, whose children, whose grandchildren are kidnapped and slaughtered in their numbers in Benue, in Plateau, where you once lived, in Kwara State, in Borno, and in so many other parts of the country, if these women were to be here in this studio, would you look at them eyeball to eyeball and tell them that the president who failed to secure them for these 4 years deserve another 4 years?
Okay, you cannot bring this issue into whether the president deserves another 4 years or not. That is not really the issue here. You see, politics in Nigeria is very deep. There are things that I can't even say here. Probably off camera we're going to talk about it so as not to complicate ourselves too. We all know the truth about these things, and we know how these things work. See, even if it is not President Tinubu that is the president today, and it is somebody else, it's not going to change any fact that these things are still going to happen. Because one thing that I have noticed about Nigerian politics and leadership is that the moment that person that is not in power is not in power, that person does everything to run the one that is in power down.
So you're saying that the situation, are you saying that the situation is irredeemable?
That's not what I'm saying.
That it's beyond the capacity of the president to end insecurity?
No,
is that what you're saying?
The president is doing his best. He's doing everything that he can to put a hold on this insecurity issue. But what I'm saying is that while he is busy trying to make things right, there are still people that are also busy trying to make him look bad.
But we have talked about that.
That's what I was saying.
We've talked about that. You cannot be the president and you're telling me that there are people within your country who are more powerful than you. If there are people who have become more powerful than you, you are unworthy of being a president.
No. This has nothing to do with...
If they are not more powerful than you, then prosecute these people. Stop them. You have all the powers. If the power within the territory of Nigeria is not sufficient enough for you to fight these people, then You can work with other countries.
Are you aware that as the governors are today, all the 36, including FCT, that they have immunity that covers them, that no one can touch them until they're out of the seats?
Of course.
So if
when you say hold
on. If you're talking about persecuting anybody, one way or the other, it has to rope into
it was the same president
that is still in power.
It was the same president.
So I think the right thing.
I'm coming. It was the same president Tinubu who suspended the governor of Rivers State. We witnessed that in this country. And why did he do that? Because of politics. Was not because of insecurity. So don't tell me about immunity with governors. He suspended a sitting governor.
He was suspended
because of
politics.
Result
of state of emergency that was placed.
Why? The state of emergency was placed for what reason? If he could do that to a sitting governor, why are you telling me that there are some governors who are beyond his reach?
He was not persecuted. There's a difference between suspending somebody and persecuting someone.
I'm not saying he was
That's
persecuted.
What we're saying now.
But if you say
as a suspended governor,
now
he will still stay there. You're not going to put him in jail.
Look at my point. If you're saying that as a governor with immunity covering governors, that because of that, they are allowed to do whatever it is they're allowed to do, and they are beyond the reach of the president to control them and all of that. I am saying that the president suspended, removed a governor.
And he was restored back.
Whenever he decided it was okay for him.
He needed to calm the situation.
He installed someone, an administrator, first time in the history of this country, remove a sitting governor, install an unelected.
There was a state of emergency on the state.
So why can't he declare state of emergency? Thank you for mentioning that. There's something called state of emergency. Why can't the president declare state of emergency in the affected state where this insecurity is most prevalent?
He is the president of the nation. He's the president of the country. And I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing. If he has gotten to that part where he needs to put a state of emergency on that I would
disagree with you. He seemed not to know what he's doing. But even if he does...
That's what you think.
Even if he does, it seems to me that he's deliberately been very wicked to the people of this country.
Why would you think so?
Because
why would you
school children
just deliberately be wicked to people?
School children are being kidnapped every week. In their dozens.
You and I can just sit down here.
Do you know?
Hold on.
Do you know my anger in all of these things? Do you know? See, the same man... I'm not a politician. I'm just a concerned Nigerian because I no longer travel. You and I, we know that we cannot travel. You're from Abia, I'm from Ebonyi. We can't travel by road to our state. No, because of fear of being kidnapped.
No, we can. You can only be scared, but we can.
We can. Now we know the kidnapping going on even in Kogi here. You and I, you like this, you can't travel by road. So this man was a man who protested vigorously during Goodluck Jonathan's presidency. And he made one categorical quote. He said that the security of the nation ends on the table of the president. That was what he said. That the buck stops at the president's table. That Goodluck Jonathan should resign for being so incompetent to secure the life and property of Nigerians. He was on the street saying that. I told you
something here. I said it's easy or even easier for an opposition to see anything. An opposition can see anything so long as you're not the one in power. But that statement that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, you will only get to see it when you assume that position. When you sit in that office, sit on that seat, and then the whole pressure comes to you. That is when you understand the true nature of how things operate. You and I can sit in the studio here and say whatever we like. But you now, if they make you the governor of any state for 24 hours, if you sit on that seat for 24 hours, I bet you, Kay, that the next minute you sit here, your views and ideas about this whole thing will be different.
So, that brings us back to my question, whether you're saying that there are no competent people in this country who can change the condition of Nigeria. Is that what you're saying?
I come from Abia State, right?
Yes.
And since Abia was created over 23 years ago, we have had the worst of leadership. I mentioned that earlier. From the time of AUK to the time of Ojus Okalu and TLG and then Okezi Bazu, all of them were terrible. But today we have someone that looks like a magician working. If he had not come, we would not know that Abia State could have such a competent governor to turn things around. So you can't practically say that we don't have competent people in the nation.
That is contradiction.
Every now and then.
That is contradiction on your part.
How do you mean?
Because you said if I sit on the governorship seat,
yes,
that I will have a change of mindset about how things work because
that doesn't
things are
mean,
not easy.
that doesn't mean that you cannot work.
There are men who can take up that responsibility and deliver on their promises.
Why not?
All I'm saying is that not people who give us excuses.
No, all I'm saying is that you will not understand how these things work until you find yourself in that position. But that does not mean that you cannot be.
Are you aware that Nigerians do not care how anything works? Nigerians do not care the scheming, plotting, strategies, and everything that goes on with governance. The desires of Nigerians are very simple. Give us good governance. How you do it is none of our business. You are the one that woke up one morning and said you're capable of handling the problem of this country. Nobody forced you. You woke up, you analyzed everything and said you're competent enough to do it. We know Nigeria can be very complex.
Yes.
But you looked at yourself and said you are intelligent enough, you're capable of handling the whole problem.
And you think he's not doing anything about it?
I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
Earlier you asked me about the soldiers who are fighting and dying in the war front. And now, what would you say to a soldier who is sacrificing his life, slaving for this country, for a salary of 100,000 naira?
No, this is something that has to be looked into.
What would you tell a policeman who has responsibility, a family? He slaves day and night for a salary of 100,000 naira. Or the teacher who works 5 days a week for 100,000 naira. And this 100,000 naira is not even enough to transport their children to school for a month because of how cost of fuel. It's not even enough. Their 5 months salary put together is not even enough to get a good house.
Are you asking me a question or you're making a statement?
I'm asking you a question. I'm coming. I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
I'm asking you what you're going to tell these people.
Okay.
The soldier who, after all of these sacrifices, doesn't even have money to take care of his family. And yet he sits down and looks at these politicians, the money they are squandering, the money they are lavishing, the endless number of cars in their convoys, sophisticated cars that they change every year, the amount of money they budget for eating and drinking and wardrobe allowance, and just sitting down, doing nothing. What would you tell these people to convince them that the government, the president, who do not feel empathy for their suffering, deserve another 4 years?
Okay. Oh my goodness.
You're laughing.
I have to laugh. I just have to
But this is not a laughing.
No. I had to laugh it out a little bit, because the tension between you and I here now is like the tension that is in Nigeria.
Yes.
So it's almost like the burden of this country is on our table between you and I. Now, I need you to understand something. I am not here to defend the politicians' lavish spending. I have not in any way tried to defend why they spend lavishly or why they should continue. But I'm just trying to make you understand that Most of the issues that we have, most of the issues that we face in this country did not start with this administration. Like you just mentioned, the salaries of the soldiers, the salaries of the police, the salaries of the teachers. When Asuwaju removed the subsidy, there was a clamor for increase in the minimum wage. And there was actually an increase in the minimum wage, which we can conveniently say that it is not enough. So the only thing that needs to be done is for the labor department, what do they call them?
The labor union.
Labor union, for them to also advocate for an increase in their salaries. These things don't just come up. You just, maybe the president should just announce that, okay, the salaries of minimum wage has been increased to 500,000 naira for every civil servant. It doesn't just happen like that. The labor union has to clamor.
So he has to wait for people to cry and make noise and call him names.
My brother,
before he can do anything.
Let me tell you, brother, see.
That is not a proactive government.
No, you can't say that because the issues what we just talked about now is just one thing out of the so many things that concerns the country. I have to
stone your convoy, call you names, swear on your head and cry.
Aside the national issues, we also have international issues that borders between Nigeria and other countries. And everything sits on the seat of the president. What I don't understand is why are you putting everything on the head of the presidency? You're not even trying to decentralize anything by telling the state governors what they are also supposed to do.
I am a fan.
Currently, we are clamoring for state police, so that every state can have its own security networking. That will also help in curbing the insecurity situation in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. There are so many policies that the president has put in place that are supposed to make things better. But the issue here is that it's not going to happen overnight. These are things that has to be built.
Labista.
It's just like someone that is building a house. It takes you time to start from your foundation, build blocks, put a roof over it, cement paint before you get comfortable.
I understand
where
your explanation,
you are.
And I must tell you that I'm a big fan.
I'm
a big fan of decentralized government. I'm a big fan of it. If you come to my page, I attack governors, I attack House of Rep members, senators. I don't just focus on the president. But here is the big deal. And here is the reason why Nigerians seem to always come after the president. I will give you an example. There's a law currently that allocation for state local government should go to the local government. Mm-hmm. And governors hijacked it. Mm-hmm. Governors have refused to allow, even though there's a law. It's an act. And the president is sitting comfortably here. The chief officer of the country, whose desk lies the responsibility to enforce the law. You're sitting, sleeping, and not doing anything about it. And the local government chairmen are crying, and nobody is helping them.
But this is his idea.
Nobody is helping
But it is his idea.
It was not his idea. It was the idea of Buhari.
But he did not effect it.
Now, after
he is now trying to put the law. He's trying to effect it.
The law is already there. That is what I'm telling you. It's not just about making policies.
Okay,
you can make state policies.
Why are the governors not allowing it?
That is the question we should ask the president. If he means well for this country, why are you allowing the governors to truncate the laws and the policies you made?
You mean you cannot ask the governors why they are not allowing that to happen?
We understand the governors are corrupt. There's nothing good about the governors.
So why are we not generating? Why are we not?
We're talking about
these issues to the governors.
We are talking about a man who is more powerful than the governors. The man who can call the governors to order. Mm. You are the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You're not the president of Abuja. You're the president of every single nook and cranny of this country. So even if the governor is the one making your government to look bad, what stops you from putting an end to it? Beautiful policies. And that is why, there is nothing really decentralized.
If you were in his shoes, what would you expect him to do?
Send the money directly to the local government. Is it difficult to do? Why would you send to the governors and ask the governors to now give the local government? What stops you? You've made the law, you've made the policy. Why can't you empower the local government chairman? Give them the authority they deserve, and that is going to help the country in so many good ways.
Are you sure that this is not part of his plan? Are you sure it's not part of his plan?
We're not talking about his plan. We are talking about what he has done for the past 4 years.
No, hold on. Are you sure that this is not part of his plan?
The plan will come to fulfillment when we have all died.
Hold on. If he eventually passes that law and it takes effect, with that,
the law is already there.
Hold on now. With that, in your opinion, no, I mean, if he effects it and it starts to manifest, and we're all now seeing it that everything, the local government funds are going directly into their accounts that they can use. Would that, in your opinion, or to you, would that satisfy you that he should go for another 4 years?
No, that is not the only measure of good governance. It's just one of it. And we're asking for the barest minimum. If he means well for the state government and he wants to truly decentralize governance, which I believe is the reason why that law came to be, he should take it further to ensure that it's not just about making law. Implementation of the law is more important than making the law. I love the fact that he ensured that law came to limelight, but he should push further to ensure that it's implemented and the local government chairmen are getting their allocation, and most importantly.
So why don't you give him time?
Most importantly, we are tired of giving time. We have given 4 years. You're asking me for time. Is it until we are all dead? And most importantly, ensure that the agencies like EFCC, who have the responsibility to fight corruption in government, stop this selective witch hunting they call corruption fighting. If the agency are really doing their work, the governors, the state governments, the local government chairman, and every politician will sit up, because they know that even if immunity covers you today, tomorrow you're going to be out of power and the EFCC will come after you. But currently, sir, the government, the people who are around the president and who are controlling power in the presidency are very corrupt people with criminal cases, corruption cases with EFCC, and then they find their way. Look at who is your Senate president.
What's wrong with him?
You don't know what's wrong with him. How did he even win to become a senator? You don't know. How did he win to become a senator? You don't know. Look at the corruption. It's so gigantic. And you talked about corruption earlier. Let me give you just 3 of the corruption, 4 that is going on in this current administration, so that you understand that the corruption here is worse. And because of that, they do not deserve any 4 years. First, did you read when the IMF said that over 8 trillion naira is unaccounted for in the Federation account till today? I'm not talking about billion, over 8 trillion naira.
IMF?
Yes, IMF. It's all over the news. You can Google it and read about it. Till today, no question has been asked. I will put that one side. The ones I can just remember, that is the ones I'm mentioning. Again, currently, there's something they call energy security expense. Cumulatively is over 17-point-something trillion naira. Buhari in his 8 years spent just about 11 trillion on fuel subsidy. This government removed fuel subsidy and now came up with what they call energy security expense, that they have spent over 17 trillion naira on, and fuel is over 1,000 naira. Nobody knows who that money is being paid to. Are you aware that it is in this administration that we have a phantom agency established with a budget allocation passed by the National Assembly and signed by the presidency into law? An agency that nobody therefore denied knowledge of. It is in this country with budget in the federal budget, in the state government budget. Are you aware that currently 3 budgets are running concurrently in this country? 2024 budget, 2025 budget, and 2026. These are budgets that the money has already been given out and nobody is implementing it. They could not implement it 2024, they could not implement it 2025, and now 3 budgets. What happened to all that money? 3 budgets are running concurrently. I am not done. In this administration, over 6 billion naira was budgeted for World Cup qualifiers. Almost 1 year after Nigeria had been eliminated from the World Cup qualifiers. And is in the national. You're laughing. I'm not the ones I can remember here.
I have no idea about all these things that you're talking about. That's why I'm laughing, because I cannot speak.
Not that you have an idea.
No, you just
will you stop supporting the administration?
You only mentioned them. You only mentioned that
they are verifiable.
Yeah, I'm going to do my own verification.
If you verify and they are true,
I do not know anything about this.
If you verify and they are true, will you stop supporting the government?
See, listen, this has nothing to do with my support.
So you still support them, even if they are neck deep into corruption.
Listen, I need you to understand something. I told you something about this country. I said Nigeria is rooted in corruption. It didn't start today. It's been on. What we are looking for is solution. What we are looking for is how to make things better in the country called Nigeria. And that is what we all are interested in. There are supported President Asiwaju. Doesn't mean that I know that he's corrupt and then I decided to support him. No, that's not the issue. Like I told you, I only looked at his track record of the things that he has done in the past and I decided to support him, believing that he's going to take this country to where it should be. Having said that, that does not mean that the next person that is coming to be the next president, probably after Asiwaju, is going to do any better. If you check the history of this country, it is only when a sitting president leaves his office that people start to glorify him for what he has done. But that moment...
Because the next one becomes worse, not that the previous one was good.
No, it's not because the next one becomes worse.
People are missing Buhari now, not because Buhari was good. No, it's because Tinubu is worse.
Hold on. Between Buhari and Goodluck Jonathan, whom would you say is the better president?
Goodluck
Jonathan.
And people missed Goodluck when Buhari was in power.
Hold on. Goodluck Jonathan, to you, is a better president than Buhari.
To Nigerians. Anybody who is sincere enough.
But it was the same Nigerians that gathered and supported, surrounded ex-president Muhammadu Buhari.
Because we were looking for something better.
And he won the election.
We were looking for something better.
Won,
that would say Goodluck was good does not mean he was the best president.
That's what I'm saying. So here we are now. We're talking about, especially on your own table, you're talking about the things that the president has not done and the things that he's supposed to do, why he is not capable of leading the nation for another 4 years. These are the things that you are saying. If eventually now, maybe 2027, and he does not win, another president comes on board and that person becomes worst, are you going to glorify Tinubu for the little that he did?
No, we do not glorify past presidents.
But here you are saying you preferred Goodluck Jonathan to Buhari.
You're not getting the point. See, I am a Chelsea fan. I don't know if you watch football.
I'm a Chelsea fan too.
Oh, you're a Chelsea fan too. Good. We had Nicholas Jackson, who we called Michael Jackson, as a striker because he misses a lot of chances. And then he was shipped to Bayern Munich, right? And then we bought what is his name? Delap, believing that Delap was going to be better. And then Delap came and flopped and became worse. And we started crying that if we had known, we would have kept Nicholas Jackson. That does not mean that Nicholas Jackson is now Haaland or Mbappe. But it simply means that what we had, the one we had, was better than what we now have. Oh. I don't know if you're getting it.
Yes,
so
I understand it.
if tomorrow another incompetent
Striker
comes and takes the center stage and perform more woefully than the previous one, we're going to wish that we had kept the one and keep managing him with all his failures. That does not mean that we're praising them.
Now,
Goodluck Jonathan did a whole lot of, there was a lot of corruption in his government. There were a lot of inadequacies in decision and a lot of things that went on in his government. Nobody is denying that fact. But one thing about him was that at least he had human sympathy. Now, Nigerians, in search of what is better than Goodluck, kicked Goodluck out, brought in Buhari. Even though I never supported Buhari because I know Buhari was grossly incompetent. Buhari came in, and the same people who kicked Jonathan out started saying, oh, if we had seen that this one is the real devil, we would have chosen the blue sea. And Tinubu was part and parcel of Buhari's government. He has said it in his mouth that he was the president when Buhari was the president, that he took over from himself. In his words, in Tinubu's words, he said that he took over from himself. Now, you took over from yourself, we're missing your other self because it was better for us then. Things were not fine. Insecurity, killings was going on, but at least we were still able to buy fuel.
Did you say at least?
At least we were still able to afford fuel.
Is it all about that?
See, things got worse in this administration.
When you talk about you were still able to buy fuel at that time, and now that you cannot buy fuel, the only reason the price of fuel went up is because of the removal of the subsidy, of which during the campaign in 2023, when all these presidential aspirants were campaigning, each one of them mentioned the same thing, that the subsidy will go. Subsidy will go. I remember. No, hold on. I remember Peter Obi categorically saying that subsidy was an organized crime. Mm-hmm. That the moment he becomes the president, that he was going to remove the subsidy. Atiku also said it, that he was going to remove the subsidy. So I don't know why the removal of the subsidy has become an issue, because it is.
Do you know why it's an issue?
Tinubu.
Do you know why it's an issue?
Tell me.
I just mentioned that Buhari spent 11 point something trillion on fuel subsidy in 8 years. And the Tinubu that removed fuel subsidy has spent collectively over 17 trillion on what they call energy security expense.
So what you're saying is that you don't know where those money has gone to, or where.
What is the profit? You remove fuel subsidy that we were spending 11 trillion.
Are you saying that you don't know where the money went to, or where did the subsidy money go to? Is that, I'm trying to understand.
The corruption has tripled. We removed fuel subsidy because we wanted to save money for the country. Is that not correct?
Yes.
But
not just to save money for the country, but to have enough money to build infrastructures.
Now, to have money or to save money, whatever it is, that made you to close a gap, a hole that was consuming 11 trillion in 8 years. You blocked it. Now Nigerians would have believed that closing it, we wouldn't have a bigger hole somewhere. But you closed a hole that was consuming 11 trillion naira, and then you opened a bigger hole that is now consuming 17 trillion in less than 4 years.
So,
and we asked you, what is this money for? And you said it's energy security expense. Nobody knows who is receiving that money. And I don't know if you know what energy security expense means.
I'm not really.
You're using it to secure fuel. It's wickedness. I don't know if you've not been reading it. It's wicked. Why won't you just allow us with 11 trillion?
Oh my goodness.
If minus 11 trillion from 17 trillion.
I have a question for you. Because in everything that we have said here, you have only mentioned the inability of the government to do what the country needs.
Yes.
Have you not thought about the things that the president has put in place or the achievement of Mr. President since he came into office?
What achievement?
No, I asked you a direct question. Don't ask me back.
I'm confused. You asked about the achievement. I'm confused because I can't. The only achievement people keep mentioning is coastal highway that they've not built.
They've not built?
They've not built it. Are you using it?
Okay, that is not an achievement.
It's not an achievement. What else? How are you building road that insecurity will not allow people to use?
So the road should not be built.
After building it, will you drive on it without the fear of being kidnapped?
Hold on. So the road should not be built.
It should be built.
Because
we're
because
tired
of insecurity,
of you telling us
road.
Hungry people do not care about whether you're building road.
Now, the country, we know that some of the things that the country has suffered is bad road network.
Yes.
And now, Mr. President has awarded for all the roads
in the
whole country to be done. And you're saying that it's not an achievement?
No, I am not so bitter. I am not a bitter person. And I'm not a politician like I've said before. If I see anything good about any government, I give them their.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm surprised that you're saying that the coastal road is not.
I am just telling you that the coastal road Tinubu supporters keep mentioning has not been
about Tinubu
has
supporters.
Not been completed. How many kilometers has been built? That you are building coastal road. Fine, we have heard. But how many kilometers have you built? That is the question. You cannot be budgeting trillions.
We're talking about road.
Something that you have not done.
We're talking about road. Coastal road. It's not house. We're not building a house.
I know now, but you should wait until you've completed it before asking Nigerians to praise you for it.
We should wait, right? We should be patient.
Yes.
Okay, but you don't want to be patient.
No, hungry people are not patient. We can be patient with road.
Okay.
Whatever trillions you're budgeting, you have not even been able to give account of how much you have spent on the coastal road.
Have you heard about Nelfund?
Nelfund again. This Nelfund.
Do you know about Nelfund?
Why is it that everybody keeps talking about
Nelfund?
No.
It's a question I asked you.
I know about Nelfund.
Because everybody is talking about hunger.
I know about Nelfund.
So why have you not spoken about that?
What is so special about Nelfund?
Really?
Yes.
There's nothing special about funding your children to go to school, to get the education that they deserve, whether they have money or not.
What is so special about
I just asked you.
That
there's nothing special
Tell me
about
how it works.
That's what I'm saying now.
Tell me how the Nelfund work.
Is it like you don't know about it?
Nigerians want to hear. Because you people have overpraised this Nelfund of it, and it's as if Nigeria, the government is dashing people money.
It has never happened in Nigeria before. Mm-hmm. It has never happened. I think one thing that has not happened in Nigeria in a very long time, probably after the days of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, is this issue of free education. There is nothing like free education in Nigeria. But it is only in this regime that we have seen the government making funds available for people to access to go to school to any level. Would you allow Nigerians to hear me?
Okay, please go ahead.
Good. Now, I said that the government has made provisions, funds for every student that is in any higher institution to access this fund. So you will not complain that your parents do not have money to send you to school. So long as education is what you want to go to school, you can access this money, go to school from your year one till you graduate. And after that, you're given time to secure a job before you start to pay it back. And there is no, what do you call it now? When you receive a loan, usually they'll tell you to pay, what's the word for the extras that you pay on it? Mm-hmm. You know, so it is free of that. What's the word?
Installment.
No, not installment. Of course, it's installment payment, but normally they add some money.
Interest.
Interest. It is interest free. So you only get to pay back the basic capital that you acquired to fund yourself in school. And you say it is not an achievement?
Can I now tell you what Nigerians would ask you listening?
No, what you would ask me.
I'm a representative of Nigerians. I'm not sitting here as KAA.
No, hold on.
All the questions I've been asking you,
Hold
are
on.
questions that Nigerians are asking.
No, when you say Nigerians, remember,
Majority
hold on.
Nigerians.
I need you to be specific
Majority of
about.
Nigerians.
Don't even say majority.
We know the few who are chopping, who are in support of the president.
Some Nigerians.
Majority.
So you believe that
Majority.
anybody that is supporting President Tinubu is chopping?
I'm coming. No, that is not what that is not what I said. There are people who support politicians because of religion, tribe, and a whole lot of very senseless things. And of course, everybody has the right to support whosoever they want to support. But even those who are supporting the president are still feeling the bite of insecurity and the hardship in the country.
Everybody's going through it.
They are just not sincere enough to accept that the country is on fire. I will tell you about this NEF fund.
Yeah.
This place that you're seated now, your back. I assembled 20 students. 20 students, university undergraduate. And when they came here, we had a conversation with an APC supporter, Tinubu supporter. And one of the issues that came up was the NEF fund. None of those students have been able to access shishi about the NEF fund.
Does that mean that it doesn't exist?
I'm coming. Nigerians, we just amplify things that exist on paper, give 1,000 people out of millions.
Do you want me to bring in 100 people to this studio of the students that have accessed the funds?
Nobody is denying the fact that there are some people that have accessed the fund.
Now, so
what I'm telling you,
what I'm telling you, did not access it does not mean that it is not.
Just calm down so that people, if you go to universities in this Abuja, only about 1 or 2% of students have accessed such funds.
It's not true.
And it is not true.
It's not true.
I'm not even talking about accessing the fund.
I physically went to University of Abuja, Gwagwalada, to
The
interview students.
same University of Abuja,
yes,
where we assembled 20 students.
I interviewed students, the ones that has accessed the money, and they told me.
I'm not saying that there are no ones.
Yeah,
but
so it's not automatic now that everybody must access it at the same time. That's what you should understand.
Okay. So there are people that will try to access it and they are not able to access it. Fine.
Depending on their whatever. So just like when you apply for visa, it cannot be given to everybody that applies.
We are on the same
Some
page.
qualifications may not permit you or some may not allow you.
I agree with you. And that is what I'm saying. I'm telling you that majority of students have not been able to access the same NEF fund. And then again, how do you say you have NEF fund and then you triple the school fees of student? How does that make any sense?
Triple the school fees of the students?
Yes, school fees in this country has tripled. You triple the school fees of students and you present NEF fund where they can borrow to subsidize what the prices you inflated. Does that make any sense? The fathers and the parents who are trying to ensure that they pay their children's school fees now wake up one morning and realize that the prices has tripled. And what the government is telling them is that there is a NEF fund where they can go and borrow, and it's not easily accessible. You have to apply and pray Hail Mary and wait for it to be approved or denied.
I don't really...
It is not easily accessible.
No, it's not that difficult. Now, I don't know the people that spoke to you about it, but it's not that difficult.
I sit here every day and the only thing I do is to make research. We conduct interviews, even on the street. We ask people questions. That is why we're able to have all of this information. So the government can sit in their fancy offices and amplify how effective their policies are, but it is us who are on the street that will tell them what exactly is going on. It's as simple as that. The wife of the president had come out. They have their program in partnership with Tony Elumelu Foundation, where they say they are sharing 50,000 naira to people. How many people have accessed it, even though you say we should be using it to fry akara? How many people? That is the problem. The country, you see, there is a form of fraud that entails people, religious houses use it, where you collect so much amount of money from your congregant enrich yourself, and then come up on your birthday or any special day and buy 1,000 bags of rice and share and publicize it that you're doing so much. When you talk, I say, me that used to buy rice, me that used to help the poor. How many out of the people you have impoverished has this your programs effectively helped? That is the question. Instead of creating nail fund and all of that, why don't you make the country good enough for economy to thrive, for businesses to thrive, so that people will be able to help themselves? People are not asking for much. Look at farmers. Nobody farms again because Boko Haram and bandits have taken
the only
over
issue
their
farmers have
farmland.
right now is insecurity, which is being curbed.
Look at these boys working here. Ask them how much is their salary. The one I struggle to cough out to pay them. Ask them how long it lasts them. Within the first 10 days, it is finished. Sometimes when I think about it, I feel heartbroken. I know they need more money, but I don't even have more money to pay them. Now, take us back 10 years ago. This money would have been so much.
10 years ago?
Abandoned. Yes.
We were not crying then.
10 years ago, we were crying, but it's better. Fuel was 200 naira. Now it's 1,200.
Even when fuel was
this morning, coming to work this morning, I went to buy fuel of 70,000. And after buying it, I was looking, it's not even half tank. I was looking at myself. I said, what in the name of God is this? So when we sit down here, we can sit down here and be diplomatic as much as we want. But the fact remains that Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are crying.
There's no doubt about that. But things are going to get better. That's I seriously believe.
That renewed hope, Nigerians are definitely tired of it because it seems it's going to be renewed shege. There's no renewed hope. And talking about, there's something I want to ask. When you first mentioned, you placed Tinubu and Peter Obi side by side. And Atiku. But I'm removing Atiku from this.
Why?
Because I want to make it concise enough.
You want to make it what?
Concise. Well, I want to make it as simple as possible. All right? If you are a business owner and you're hiring a manager and one person comes, this person you do not know the secondary school or the primary school he attended, is still a subject of debate till today. The one they said he attended existed 2 years after he said he graduated from the school. You do not know his real name. His identity is still a subject of debate till today. His real name, people have insinuated that his real name is a name of a lady, a woman. Till today, nobody knows his real name. The same person have criminal record where he forfeited money in drug-related cases, verified. He forfeited money. The same person is a man who have had accusation of bullion vans going in and coming out, corruption cases flying all over him. What anybody can honestly describe as a mystery man. In the other hand, you have a man whose track record is as straight as an arrow. You can trace the source of his wealth. You know how he made his money. You know the schools he attended. He has school mates from primary to university. You know every single thing about this man. He has no criminal record. The second governor ever in Nigeria to leave government, leave billions in government coffers without stealing it. The only governor in existence in this country, both former and present, who do not have any corruption-related cases. Nobody has ever said he stole his 10 naira as governor. He has an impeccable account of how he spent every penny. He is a man who has been described as the embodiment of integrity, who is so prudent that every penny must be accounted for. You have these two people. As a hiring manager, if these two people come to apply for a job in your company, be honest. Let's not talk about politics. Let's not be diplomatic about it. who among these two people will you hire?
Here you are, seated across me, telling me not to be diplomatic or be political about the answer. But in your question, you have politically chosen sides.
No,
In your
these are available. These are available data.
In your statements
These are
and
available
your question, you have politically described and taken your own side.
How?
Now asking me
How? Please point it out. How did I choose
by
side?
your descriptions. You
Which of them is wrong?
This one is a criminal. He doesn't have a name.
I did not call him a criminal.
That he doesn't have a name.
No, you are the one calling him a criminal.
No, I
said the allegation. First, he doesn't have his identity is a subject of debate.
That's what you
Will
said.
you agree with me or not? It's there. I'm not the one that made it up.
Listen.
Did he forfeit money in drug-related cases or not?
I am not aware of these things that you're talking about, whether he forfeit money.
You are not aware of the man you're supporting.
No, listen. I will not base my judgment on what opposition has presented for people to believe.
Opposition.
All these things that you're talking about now, we never heard about it, about the person in question until the 2023 election. The opposition now started to bring up this. Listen, my brother. Listen.
That is supporting the man. Hold on. Which school did he attend?
Wait. Before you ask me the next question, I need you to understand this. Between you and I, we both know that politicians, we do anything possible. We say anything possible, including things that are not correct, just to run their opposition down.
Which of these things I said is not correct?
I don't know. On both sides, I do not know because I didn't go to school.
You said you analyzed the three men.
No, hold on. I said their achievements. I didn't talk about the schools they went to and the universities they went to. But one thing is for sure. Both of them, if they didn't go to school, they will not be where they are today. They will not have the achievements that they have achieved today. That is for sure. So talking about whether he used a fake name to go to school or didn't use a fake name to go to school is highly irrelevant to me.
As your president?
That is not what I should be basing my judgment on. My judgment is on his achievements, the thing he has done and the things he is doing. Yes. And talking about the other opponent, I can only judge him if he becomes a president tomorrow. And then I get to see his achievements after 4 years. That and then can I only compare. I cannot tell you today now that this man will be a better president than this man, or this one will be a better president than the other one, when you have not seen or tested the other person's abilities as a president. It's
all right. Labista, let's move on from politics. Let's move on from politics.
I think it's about
time. But aside from politics, what other opinion do you hold that Nigerians would strongly disagree with? Aside politics.
Say that again.
Aside politics, what opinion do you hold in any other thing apart from politics that Nigerians would strongly disagree with?
What opinion would I hold in any other thing?
What opinion do you hold in any other thing aside from politics?
That for Nigerians will disagree with.
Exactly. Something you are strongly convinced about. I will tell you mine. Mine, if you ask me such a question, I will tell you that I do not believe that a man must have a biological child. You can adopt any child and make the child yours and live in peace. Whenever I say that, especially people from Igbo people, they say, no.
Yeah.
So that is the kind of thing I'm asking for.
I don't know. I've never thought about...
You've never thought about
I've never thought about anything like that.
Great. I need you to name one person you think you owe an apology in your life, your career, till this moment. One person you believe you owe an apology.
For whatever reason at all.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I have.
Is there anyone that you believe owes you an apology?
Probably someone that must have offended me in the past, one way or the other, that feels what they did was wrong to me and they owe me an apology can actually come up.
Is there anyone you are expecting? Someone you know? I look at this guy. This guy has offended me. Yet up to this moment, he has not apologized to me. I know people that owe me an apology in this life. I know people that have shown me shige. That is what I'm asking for.
I don't think it's something I want to bring to the public, because of course, in the course of our living this life, we cross paths, step on toes, offend each other here and there, and maybe one way or the other, you expect the person to come and apologize to you, and the person is not coming forth. For me, I tend to see that as very irrelevant situations where you can just keep living with it. If you feel you don't owe me any apology, just enjoy yourself. Probably if for any reason our path crosses again, I may have to remind you that, look, I don't think we can do this based on our past record.
As someone who've had experience dealing with a lot of people, both the rich and mighty, you are very exposed. What is the difference you've realized in the mentality of those above and those below?
Say that again, please.
As someone who have been exposed to different kinds of life, you've been able to mingle with the rich and powerful. You've tested what it means to be down here and what it means to be up there. What difference have you realized that there is in the mentality of those above and the below, the reason between the rich and the poor?
Well, I know that the poor are always quick to judgment about the rich, believing that because the rich have money, they can afford anything, they can do whatever they want, so the poor will always draw up their own conclusion about the rich. That conclusion or that judgment may not necessarily be truth because they are not in their shoes to understand how they operate. That's what I think about the poor. Most times the poor people will always draw up a conclusion about the rich. That's why they can sit back and say, if na maybe this man, I could do like this, I could do like that, I could do like this, I could do like that. But you can't say that because you've not tested money before. So you can't just say what or how you can behave when you have money. Money is a spirit of its own. Money is something that when it comes to you, your mentality changes, your perception changes, your ideas about everything around you tends to change. There are very few people that goes from dust and from grass to greatness and remain the same. There are very few people. So the presence of money tends to bring out the true characters of people and how they react to their neighbors and people around them. As for the rich to the poor, the rich always believe because of the presence of their money that they are powerful enough to run anybody down or do whatever they want on whoever. They also believe that they can get what they want out of anybody or they can buy through whatever they want out of anybody. But there are cases where the rich gets to find out that their money is not everything, that it cannot work everything that they want. Yeah, in that kind of situation, now they start to look the person differently. So
I need you to take your time before you answer this next question. Would you prefer to die respected or poor or wealthy, but remembered as someone who sold his conscience?
Like you said, I should think about it before I answer. Now, my answer is this. I have gone through a lot in this life. I have seen things, I've seen people, I've been to places, and I have also come to understand that respect, the respected, like you put it, will only end you up. Okay, let me rephrase that. You could die out of respect. People could have great respect for you and you die with it. Now, when you die with that, when you were alive, did you live? Did you live? Surviving is different from living. Surviving is you're just there, you're alive. Living is when you are comfortable, we're able to afford the things of this life, whatever that it is, wherever you want to go, you go, travel, eat, whatever you want. When you die, people could say anything about you. What about you? Do you know what people say? Do you know where you go to? You don't. So you just go. The rest is left for the living to talk about. So me, I prefer to walk within my conscience, earn what I can, celebrate what I can, and leave the rest to God. So when I move, then people can draw up their judgments on whatever they think about me. But I would live within my conscience. If I have a cup of coffee right here, right now, and I know that if I'm to splash this coffee on your face, it will be disrespectful. And I go ahead to do it. I have only created a visual image of whom people would think I am, both to you, to the audience, to the viewers, and the people in the studio here. But deep down inside me, I know my reasons for doing what I did. If I am satisfied within my conscience that what I did is right, then I'll live with it. I don't know if I answered your question.
Beautiful. Lastly, which question were you praying I wouldn't ask you?
I had no restriction to any question. I gave you an open, you understand? I gave you an open table to any question that you want to hit me with. I'm ready to answer.
Thank you. I still have a lot of other questions, but I'm sure this will not be the last time you'll be here.
Okay.
So for us not to make it too long, I'm going to thank you and appreciate you for taking our time to honor us with your presence and answer our questions so beautifully. I respect everyone's conviction, and if you're watching us now, you need to understand that you have the right to support whosoever you want to support politically, regardless of religion, tribe, or whatever politicians out there say. Politicians lie a lot. That is the truth. And if you've watched at this point, I want to take out this beautiful moment to thank you, appreciate you, and plead with you to kindly subscribe to this channel. I and my team would appreciate it a lot because we've realized that over 80% of you watch our videos without subscribing to our channel. If you subscribe and help us to get bigger, we'll keep bringing very important personalities like this to have this kind of conversation where we share ideas together. And thank you so much. See you next time. And thank you, my legend.
Thank you.